The raging spate of violence has continued to defy all forms of approach and resolving it. We have violence in all parts of the country, ranging from insurgency, banditry, armed robbery, and all sorts. And the quest for solution has brought us here once again. Hello, my name is Ikpe. Welcome to our program, Violence Free World. And interestingly, my guest on the program today is the all very important, the man at the center of it all. His Excellency Alhaji Gov Zulum, the Executive Governor of Borno State. Excellency, you're welcome to our program.
Thank you very much.
We're going to come right back into the conversation right after this special report. We'll be right back. Be here. Nigeria's journey through nationhood, like many others, have been characterized with good and bad incidents. A peep at our trajectory points at the 1966 coup as the most dramatic incident, a callous adventure that led to the Civil War of 1967, where millions of lives were lost and properties worth billions destroyed. While efforts at genuine reconciliation have continued, terror merchants with motives that are political, religious, and monetary have for a considerable while continued to visit men on the citizens. The hallmarks of the present terror regime are the insurgency in the northeast of Nigeria, the banditry in northwest, herdsmen crisis in the north central and southwest Nigeria, and most recently, the southeast is beginning to experience what looks like the Borno-based insurgency in its nascency. Violence, therefore, has become a common denominator from all and across Nigeria. Fear is palpable as the military continue in their efforts at combating the enemies. Many citizens are beginning to wonder if the situation is now hopeless. Gladly, the reality in certain parts of Nigeria elicits hope. Many analysts will readily cite the calm in the Niger Delta region after a near total war and the reversal in status of parts of Kogi State as an enclave of Boko Haram are all pointers to the fact that the reign of terror is surmountable. Finally, as we hope for an end to terror and a return to normalcy, a positive redefinition of mindsets amongst Nigerians is most necessary. Welcome back. I'm still here with Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State. Excellency, now you've had cause to disagree with soldiers, commanders out there as to the way they handle certain situations. Do you also in any way suspect that certain elements amongst this leadership of these commanders around there are undermining the security situation, colluding to further their own personal interest that is contrary to the national interest? Do you suspect any foul play sometimes that makes you come out with fuming the way you did?
While I was voted because of one fundamental reason, that is provision of security to the people of Borno State. Security of lives and properties is the number one objective of any government. And that is why whenever I see something wrong, I have to say it, which is very important. Yes, let me tell you one very important thing. We have good army officers. We have bad army officers. We have good soldiers. We have bad soldiers. We have good politicians. We have bad politicians. So this issue of insurgency has a multidimensional approach. It's right. I said it time without numbers that there is sabotage in the system. What I mean by sabotage is that if you loot funds that are meant to procure arms, it's a sabotage. You are getting what I'm saying?
Very true.
So, again, it's not only in the Nigerian army, including the political class, the civil servants, because people felt they can sacrifice life of human being for money, which is so bad. If things are done properly, believe me sincerely, by now, the issue of insurgency is over.
If things were done properly.
Yes.
In which case, do you suspect that this war has lingered because some people within the system are furthering their own, they are using it as a
What
business?
I'm saying now is that I think you need to understand me. I did not single out one particular person because security matters are very important, that it affects all of us. We are all stakeholders, including the community, including the Nigerian military, the police, and the electorate, and indeed the public servants and the political office holders. So what I'm saying now is that if we plan to fail, it's also a part of sabotage. So honestly speaking, by now we could have get rid of this problem. But again, this administration also has some certain shortcomings, have problems. The dwindling revenue. For the last 6 years, 6 years, crude oil prices have soared. The external reserve had come down. So I think there is misunderstanding that people are saying, okay, the problem of Buhari. No. It's all of us.
Recently, Excellency, you had cause to check one NGO, which is just like a microcosm of the kind of thing that have been going on around for some time. This speaks to this same corporate conspiracy thing that I keep hammering on. But aside that, even while you may wish to comment on that further stay, can you quickly come to our constituency, the media, assess our performance, the performance of the media as far as the fight against insurgency and generally violence is concerned in Nigeria?
Well, on the issue of the non-governmental organizations that are working in Borno State and across other parts of the countries, I think quite a number of them are good. But there's one fundamental thing that we need to understand. It's the position of Nigeria in the world equation. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is a member nation of the United Nations. You are getting what I'm saying? So Nigeria is not a pale nation. So what we want these iron jaws to do in Nigeria is that they should allow the government of Nigeria to take the lead in implementing the activities, the humanitarian activities in the nation. The government of Borno State need to understand who is working where in Borno State. You are getting what? And where are you working? What are you doing? You are getting what I'm saying? But unfortunately, somehow along the line, this is the missing link. countries that are smaller than Nigeria are not on this fat. And therefore, yes, we are working with many organizations like UNDP, USAID, European Union, UNHCR, what do you call it, WHO, DFID. You get what I'm saying? Yes, EUGI, they are doing very well. But again, we do used to have issues in the areas of their implementing partners. The implementing partners sometimes compromise standards. And what we are saying is that as far as I'm the governor of Borno State, there's a level to which I will tolerate operations in the state, because I shall not compromise the state interest. I shall not compromise the national interest. You are getting what I'm... That's the key word.
Speak to the issue of the press, the media.
Press, you cannot judge yourself.
Is you doing the judgment?
Yes, but I think you are not perfect. I'm sitting down as a governor of Borno. I have some deficiencies. So if you claim to be perfect, I think you are getting wrong. In some instances, you are good, especially in Borno State. Press are giving a very serious support to the government. They are reporting very well, especially. But you know, there is the need for us to understand the importance of peace in Nigeria. Press is a veritable tool for national development. And therefore, we can use press to promote peace and stability in the nation. But sometimes, the negative sides are reported so much. You are getting what I'm saying?
Very well.
That does not mean, yes, that will not augur well for all of us. I think the Nigerian press, to me, you are doing well, because as far as I'm concerned, publicity is being given to me at the state level. We're working closely, and then one very important thing that I love them is that they have sacrificed their lives. I've gone to Kukawa, I've gone to Baga, I've gone to Damasak, some of the most dangerous places in Nigeria now. You can even see on the art. The press do used to follow me. When even my 30 policemen were killed, they are still with me. The attack that has happened in Baga, you can see hundreds of bullets all around us. They are with us. I think they are committed enough. We need to press them. But the most important thing is that we should also caution them to exercise restraint.
Well, I take
in
it
ensuring that they should report matters after investigating the validity of the matters.
More like saying we should be more alive to responsible journalism, Excellency. How cooperative have the neighboring states been as far as your fight against insurgency is concerned?
Excellent.
Yes.
The government of Niger, the Republic of Cameroon, as well as Chad, are given the desired support to the government of Nigeria.
What about inside Nigeria? Yobe,
All of
rest
them,
of them?
yes. We don't have problem intra. We don't have any problem.
You know that insurgency, banditry have a correlation, which is like a flow from insurgency to banditry, where monies are raised here and there. There's a kind of connected. That's why you figure Zamfara, Kaduna State, and some of those other stuff. Yet you have a meeting point, do you?
What I'm saying now is that they are all forms of insecurity. Be it Boko Haram insurgents, be it banditry, be it kidnapping, they are all forms of insurgents. They are all forms of insecurity.
This is Violence Free World. I've been speaking with His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State. We're going to come right back and continue the conversation right after this time. I'll be here. Don't go away. Welcome back. I'm still here with His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State. Excellency is also very surprised that despite the war, Governor Zulum is going about and carrying out infrastructural development like some other states that are even normal are finding very difficult to do. Where are you finding the money? Where are you finding the time? Where are you finding the confidence, the courage to carry on this way as you are?
You have to understand one thing. At the beginning of this interview, I said something. The reasons, root causes of the insurgency are not limited to poor social infrastructure, poor economic infrastructure. You are getting what I'm saying? The issue of educational infrastructure is key. The issue of road infrastructures are very key. So in order to address the root causes of this insurgency, you have to provide infrastructure, which is key. Without infrastructure, you can't go away. For example, you start constructing road between Maiduguri to Bama, Maiduguri to Banki. You will create, a good road will create job opportunities for the teeming youths. Then job creation, you build housing. If you want to build 1,000 homes now, can you imagine how many number of jobs will you create? So provision of infrastructure will create jobs. Apart from meeting the main objectives of having the infrastructure on ground. So what we are doing in Borno State is nothing but we are trying to raise the standard of good governance.
A lot of people have the impression, Excellency, that the IGR and the federal allocation alone is not enough. Are you getting monies from foreign bodies to carry out developments in Borno State?
No. What we are using is that we adopted a model. This model is what we call transparency. The little resources that we are receiving, we decided to invest in a judicious and meticulous manner to the benefit of the electorates. That's the secret.
UK officials predicted again recently that there will be mass destabilization of Nigeria before 2023. This is not new. We have had this before preceding the 2015 and of course 2019 elections coming from these international bodies, supposedly very, very gigantic bodies are meant to be respected. Again, fear is being thrown out there. Do you sometimes fear that Nigeria will disintegrate sometime and become a failed state, like some people have even labeled it to be like already?
I'm not a prophet of doom. So, but I'm optimistic that the country will be okay. People don't understand. People don't understand the negative effect of war. Let them go to Borno State and see our situation for the last 12 years. So if the country want to separate, I think there are legal ways that will ensure separation. I think that is the best way out. The separatists have to be very careful. Yes, if we decided not to stay together, then we have some legal ways. We have laid down procedures. You are getting what I'm saying. But war will not take us anywhere, and I don't believe in the predictions by some people that Nigeria will fail very soon. I'm optimistic that our country will work stronger than before. Because the greatest missing link is the issue of inclusivity. If we can include inclusivity in our own affairs, I think all will be over.
When you say inclusivity, my concern would be the youth who are like the ready army that are waiting to be recruited by terror merchants here and there, everywhere, like it happened during the NSAS. You saw that as a warning, and you have a particular program for them as far as inclusivity is concerned, is it?
While I think you clearly understood by what I mean by inclusivity. So the issue of nepotism, the issue of tribalism, factionalism has to be put aside if we want this nation to move forward. And this problem, we have it everywhere in the country. We have it in the north, we have it in the south. For example, somebody, because Buhari is not in the north, south, somebody, no matter what he did, whether it is right, somebody will say, no, Buhari is wrong. Again, somebody will not, no matter how somebody did something right, somebody will say, no, somebody couldn't do it right. You get what I'm saying? So there is a need for us to leapfrog from the current stage that we are to a stage whereby we shall conceptualize Nigeria to be one indivisible element. We have to choose between meritocracy and loyalty, sectionalism and meritocracy. These are very important things. You are getting what I'm saying?
Very well, Excellency.
Yes.
And finally, please just give us your word of advice. The youth, speak to them, particularly as far as youth involvement with violence is concerned. Speak to them directly as your word of advice.
My advice to the Nigerian youth is that they should be very careful in such a way that politicians will not use them. The governors, members of the National Assembly, local government chairmen, permanent secretaries and directors are different MDs in the country. We have taken our children to schools. You can't find them on the streets, while the children of the masses are on the streets. My advice for them is that let them be focused on their education. Let them focus on how can they earn their means of livelihood by themselves. Let them strengthen unity among ourselves. Because the present situation that we are in cannot be resolved under a chaotic environment. We have to be patient enough. This problem that we are in is as a result of bad governance for a long period. Not only Buhari or something like that, or Governor Zulum or something like that. We couldn't get it right. Because of oil boom, we failed to develop our nation. We had crude oil, but we misused our own potentials. We did not invest in other sectors of the economy. Nigeria is a mono-economy country, dependent on oil for the last 60 years. We've forgotten about agriculture. We've forgotten about manufacturing. We're consumers of goods. You are getting what I'm saying?
Very well.
And then, but unfortunately, we don't produce. We don't export. We import, even toothpicks. And then the greatest problem is corruption. Corruption has eaten deep into our own society. What kind of necessity? Somebody having 50 cars in his house, 300 houses in Abuja, 100 in Lagos. It's only happening in the black nation. Very unfortunate. Where are we headed to? The monies that are in the hands of Nigerians, individuals, are more than what the government has. Unless this, even only if this equation is changed, we're not getting anywhere.
Well, Excellency, I think that's a very good point to leave it at this point. I must thank you very much for obliging us, audience.
Thank you very much.
I've been speaking with the Executive Governor of Borno State, His Excellency Alhaji Babagana Zulum. Same time next week promises even more if you endeavor to be here. Until then, please remember to remain on the road to a violence-free Nigeria. My name is Kali Ikpe. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.
No more.